Draw the curtain, dim the lights, and fade to black. Another season closes on a Minnesota professional sports team with a loss. Sad eyes is to montages what Brian Dunzo is to Mark Rosen. Just a cozy, comfortable sweater. Wow. That was this is about as epically ugly as it gets. And, there's plenty to blame, to toss around. We'll sift through it all. But the biggest culprit is my oldest son, Deuce. He comes in last night. We're up 3-1, 6 minutes to go. Potato says, what are your plans for tomorrow? Do you have a game tomorrow? Because he does, play-by-play on the Game Time Minnesota Network for a streaming service. He goes, I don't, but Game 6, and he starts rubbing his hands together like this. And he goes, maybe Abbott can get another sweep for us.
Yeah, kid.
And then within 3 minutes, it was bingo, bango, bongo, it's tied. And then we go to overtime, and we lose, and we should have won. Was it, who made the terrible pass to McCarron? Right in front. Wasn't it McCarron right? Didn't somebody
on the 2-on-1?
Yeah, the 2-on right away in overtime.
I wouldn't say terrible pass. It was just slightly off pass. That was boldy.
That's a terrible pass. You can say slightly off at that situation at that moment. I mean, you and I just look at the sport so different. I hold people to high.
I mean, the pass was the right idea to make the pass.
Right? Yeah, but you got to make the pass. You got to put it, especially with a guy like McCarron. He's playing on stilts. He's not. And he should have. You could probably say he should have got a stick on it. I mean, that's going to be a goal where we're talking about Game 6, and we're not. We had 7 shots on goal after the first period, after going up 3-0. Why wouldn't we just? Did they try to step on the gas? And Colorado's just that good? Or did we decide, let's get into the fetal position now, let's just play defensive hockey and try to milk it? And you can make an argument, I guess, you're trying to milk a 3-0 lead. I think you do that if you're playing Quebec, if you're playing the Kraken, if you're playing, give me another terrible team. Vancouver. But when you're playing the best team in hockey, don't you just step on it and say, let's score more? You can never have enough goals. This is a team that scored 9 goals against us in Game 1. What makes us think we're going to shut them out the rest of the way? And it was close, I get it. It worked for a while. I mean, it was 3-0 at the end of 2. Was it the end of 2? They didn't get one in the second.
It was 3-1. They got one in the second.
Okay, and late in the second or whenever it was. And then we went most of that third period. The strategy, I guess, if that was indeed the strategy, I don't know. Now, the coach, after the game before at the X said, well, I don't know why we were playing the way we were playing. We put the wrong strategy in place. And I said, well, why didn't you tell them that between periods or on the bench? And I don't know, maybe he did and the team didn't listen. And if they didn't listen, is it because it's the wrong messenger? Or is it they're lazy, stupid, or both? Or just is Colorado? I know Colorado's really good, but I refuse to just go, well, if you want to just say Colorado's the best team in hockey, and when we don't have Brodin and Eki, we're just not any good. And those are legitimate. I guess that those are legitimate guys missing in the lineup. But gosh, did you know that Carson Wentz got knocked out about week 15 or 16, and Nick Foles led his team to a big game win over Tom Brady? It can be done. You can lose your best players and still win games. I just don't understand.
Quarterback's the most important position in all sports.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The McKinnon goal was unworldly. I mean, I don't know how you find a spot like that. Especially, the game is so fast-paced and you have that puck and you go, that wasn't an accident, right? He was trying to go right shoulder.
He put it right where he was trying to go.
It was, I don't know how you can be that good, but I guess he must be that good. Is he the best player in hockey?
He's 1 of 2. Him and McDavid.
Well, Connor McDavid is overrated. What do we have a chant for McKinnon? You gotta be kidding. He's McKinnon. I don't know what you would have for but man,
that was a big time shot.
Big time shot. Gosh, and then
which is why I would be a little more aggressive going out on him if I'm a defenseman.
But. Yeah. And then we had And didn't we also have another chance in OT with Kaprizov and Boldy? And Kaprizov
literally right before they scored, it led to their rush the other way.
Yeah, and I in talking to people and reading some things, and you're part of the hockey community, and I trust your opinion more than others. I think some people are going, well, why didn't Kaprizov score? Is it just 6 1/2 or shoot? Isn't it just 6 1/2? Is it? My late mother-in-law would say, well, it's a horse apiece. Could you say it's a horse? I know, and again, it's after the fact, it's easier. What's called hindsight's 20/20. But do you think he should try to shoot that, or do you think going to Boldy was the right move, or doesn't it matter?
He should have shot it. Now, when you have like the two lefties together, this happens with Zuccarello a lot as well. When a lefty is passing to a lefty, if you have an open passing lane, that is a better scoring chance than just shooting it, right? Because when you're shooting it, the goalie is squared up.
Correct.
Then you pass it over, all of a sudden the goalie's got to slide over. Boldy's elite in that shot. The problem is the passing lane wasn't open, so he forced it into a lane that was just going to be very extremely hard to pull off. If it's an open, clear lane, then I mean,
okay.
You freeze the goalie, you let the goalie think you're going to shoot, and then you pass it over, and then Boldy's basically shooting into half a net. Kind of like how Colorado scored their game winner. It was very similar.
Right.
That same pass over to a lefty. But the defenseman, who actually was Kulak, who ended up scoring the game-winning goal, he was playing the pass. So, Kaprizov should have taken the shot there.
Yeah. And I even said to Deuce about a minute into OT, maybe I jinxed him because I said, I think the Wild are going to score first. Well, be the only goal. I thought the Wild I thought somehow they were going to stave off it's an epic Minnesota collapse. I don't know if it's the biggest of all time. I got a list of them, Tenneby. Epic, awful Minnesota collapses. We'll take a look at those sometime during today. But, pretty disappointing. And I can understand from a player's point of view. A couple of games could have gone either way, for sure. And they didn't. They went the way of Colorado. That's just the way she goes. I see that someone highlighted, so they saved all sorts of text messages into, did they do a special edition of, did they do a Wild Fan Line last night, Fallness and Micheletti? Because there's all sorts of complaints here.
I'm sure they did, but I don't think they would have done it here.
Oh.
Well, no, they have access to the text elsewhere, so, yeah.
So, there was lots of, some of them
I've been in that spot before.
This might be my favorite. You're a clown, Micheletti. And then there's one that says, you ain't much better, Fallness. Attacking the host.
Because it's their fault.
Well, I think it might be their fault. I blame Deuce. Gleefully rubbing his grubby little hockey gloves together, thinking we're going to get a game 6. You know what? That's getting ahead of yourself. That's got to get in an offsides. That's like, I see a place I can get in their zone and get the pass, and I'm so anxious to get there that I skate offsides.
Fallness did the same thing yesterday.
Did he really?
Because he texted me while the game's going on. He goes, if the Wild win, because they're up at the time, if the Wild win, we have to do Wild Weekly tomorrow. He jinxed it. That's
exactly what it, Fallness and Deuce. Sad, really. We'll pause, come back. Peek at the Purple schedule release. Is that tonight? I'm so excited.
Boy.
I've got my schedule. I got an inside schedule release, Tennessee. I know the schedule. This is sort of like mock drafts. I have a mock schedule release, and then I want you to compare it to what really happens when we find out tonight. We'll do that next with Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. Tennessee has got a keyword for our national cash contest, brought to you by BigDeck.com.
The fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword RICH at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is RICH. Enter now at KFAN.com.
The Common Man.
Negative energy never got anybody.
Tim McGraw will be there August 23rd, and My Chemical Romance on August 24th. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13, 14 past. I'm Common. He's Tenneby. Tenneby, I've always been sort of a purist. Ice cream, vanilla is still my favorite. Fritos original. I don't like I don't mind the chili cheese, but I don't mind the big scoops, but I like original. Potato chips. Original, give me Lay's, and I like Old Dutch the best. I like the local ones. Do I like a sour cream and chive? Sure, but I'm still a purist. I prefer the original regular potato chips. Hot dogs with mustard, right? Burgers with pickles, pickle juice and all. No! My boot hockey, I play without a mask. Just like they used to play hockey. They had no mask. I was always the same with my M&Ms. I don't mind peanut M&Ms, but I like just plain chocolate M&Ms. I separate them by colors. But I just tasted cherry chocolate cupcake M&Ms. They're really good. Did you see the bag?
Cherry chocolate cupcake?
They have cherry chocolate cupcake, and also out there, and these must not have been the favorite. There were 2 bags sitting out on the table right outside the studio. The cherry chocolate cupcake was much more full than the peanut butter cinnamon roll M&Ms.
Peanut butter cinnamon roll?
Peanut butter cinnamon roll. And I
like peanut butter and I like cinnamon rolls. I don't know if I like them together.
That's it. All I know is for me, and I think I've told you, I like peanut butter, I like peanuts, but I don't like my peanut butter mixed with chocolate, which I know is sinful to some people. Most people like Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, my wife's favorite candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I think people like the mix of, and I don't dislike the taste of chocolate and peanut butter together. It's just not my favorite, right? So I can understand what you're saying. You don't know if you'd like it. I didn't think I would either. I looked at the 2 bags and I scoffed at first. I went, come on, give me my originals. I brought the cherry chocolate cupcake in here so nobody else could have any. No, so I could remember exactly what they were called. I'm going to put them back out there. But they actually have, this is the bakery collection. Vote for your fave. Mine was Faber Fave. I don't know if it is anymore. Vote for your fave, and they have one of those little, what is that thing called where you click onto it? A barcode? No.
QR code?
QR code. It's got a QR so you can vote for your fave. I know this flavor is good. You voting for it would be the cherry on top. Get it? Yoga pants, breasts. It's like Power Trip Morning Show like. So, yeah, I have to admit, I mean, I'm a purist, but I can be tempted. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. You know, they're your old home specialist. Affordable Electric is, and May is Electrical Safety Month. Affordable Electric is here to keep your home and business safe, powered, and protected. Electrical hazards cause thousands of fires every year. Don't wait for sparks to fly. Get a jump on safety. This month, when you book a service, you'll receive a breaker box or fuse box inspection on the house. Free from the licensed pros at Affordable Electric. Call 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is, and I think most people know what's coming, it is what we call, is shockingly affordable. Schedule release tonight, 7 o'clock. Did I hear this?
Oh, boy.
Like Lieber and Bursich and
PA,
they're doing a schedule release podcast?
Oh my gosh. Above average at that.
Tell me, what if they said to you, tell me, we'd like you to be involved at 7 o'clock tonight in a Vikings schedule release podcast? What would your response be?
You're breaking up.
Correct. I have the schedule.
Is it a podcast?
Or is it on the air?
Well,
I thought I heard it was a podcast.
Oh, it looks like it's a little confusing, but
Okay.
the graphic says KFAN.com/watch. So I think it's just, well, yeah. Well, maybe there's a listen portion of it too. I would assume it'd be on the air. What else are we going to be doing at 7?
A wild game.
Wolves don't play tonight.
I don't know if I like these cherry chocolate cupcake as much as I thought I did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
My guess is they're doing it on like the StreamYard bit.
Okay.
So you can watch it. But then I would think you would just put it on the radio as well. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Vikings will open at home against the Panthers, is what my sources tell me.
Really?
Yep. Then we have back-to-back road games. At the Saints week 2, and then week 3 at Curly in Thursday night football. Dun, 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 dun. Thursday night football, Vikings at Packers. Then we're back home. We take on the Bills, which is a good thing because we played in Buffalo. I know a lot about weather patterns, having lived in Minnesota. Then tend to be on the road week 5 at Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers on Sunday night football. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Week 6, we will host the Commanders the Washington Commanders. Then week 7 at the Bears. That's what Rosen calls them all the time. The Bears. Then we host the Packers week 8. So we play the Packers, according to my sources. We will play the Packers twice in the first 8 weeks of the season. Host the Packers week 8. Then we're back on the road again, where you go to New York City.
On the road again?
On the road again to take on the New York Football Jets. Then we have back-to-back home games. Week 10, we host the Dolphins. Week 11, Colts. That's going to be a 4:25 Eastern time game. That's going to be a late game. That's going to be 3:30 our time. Then Tennessee, Vikings will travel to Motown for Thanksgiving. It'll be Vikings against Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. Then the Vikings will travel to New England to take on the Patriots. We don't have our bye week until week 14, and I like having it late like that because that's by the time when guys are really getting beaten down. They're eating dirt, rubbing a little Robitussin on it, right? They're in the training room. Guys are laying on the line. I think it's bandwagon. It really do. Guys in the bread, they're laying on the line. Then we have another late afternoon game at San Francisco in the city by the bay. Then it's 3 home games to close out the season. How about that? It's going to be a home game stretch. We host the Lions on Monday Night Football. Howard Cosell. It's another one of Rosen's favorites. We're at where the Falcons come here and then Tennessee. The time is to be determined. My sources tell me we're going to finish against a Central Division foe, the Bears, on the final week of the season. We'll be resting players against Detroit, the Falcons, and the Bears. We're going to have a playoffs. My prediction, we'll have a playoff spot locked up by week 15, maybe even by week 14. So we're not going to have to worry about those games. That's your schedule. Did you jot those down? Because I want to see how close I am. I mean, that's what my sources tell me.
We already know some of them are wrong, but yeah.
Oh, they are?
We've had a couple leaks already. Well, I mean, yesterday they announced the Vikings were playing the 49ers in Mexico City.
Oh.
On November 22nd.
Well, that's the date I have, but it's what's wrong is it just says at 49ers, so 49ers are considered the home team, though, right?
And we know the Lions are playing the Bears on Thanksgiving.
No, that's not true. No. That's not true. My source says, you wait and see. We are playing the Vikings. I say we. The Lions have been playing the Vikings. Let's take a break. By the way, Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. We'll dive a little deeper into the epic collapse. We'll look at other Minnesota epic collapses. And then we'll talk about the upcoming epic collapse when the Wolves lose to the... you know what? They're not going to lose. They're going to win. They're going to even the series at 3 games apiece and force a decisive Game 7 in San Antonio. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a little Dis Dat Lad here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Timberwolves need to win to extend their series with the Spurs. And
Richie with
feels like the first time
with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
She be the dancing queen.
That's on June 24th. Tickets are on sale now. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
The last few times you've done the concert vibes, you've kind of gone quickly. Is that because you don't like my bit, or as the coroner's office said, don't step on Tennessee's touchdown call?
No, I love the bit, but I never know if you're paying attention or listening or even ready to do it.
I'm always listening, trust me. I've got my ear to the ground. Tennessee, I don't know if you'll agree with this. You might, but I don't think so. And everybody has a different opinion on what I'm about to say. And I don't know if I'm in the minority, but for me, the coolest job on the planet is PGA Tour Pro. I mean, it's just so, you just watch them play, and you get paid money. Now you got to play well, but they pay you to play golf. And I was watching live from last night, and I don't know what they were trying to make it seem like it's such an arduous profession, difficult, hard. You know, because they were doing like, they were showing the inside of hotel hallways, like, you know, because you're just living out of your suitcase going. And of course, it's a 5-star hotel. It's like, it's not that tough of a gig. It really isn't. So yeah, you have to travel. I get that. But
they have people doing all their travel planning.
Of course. And you know what? He ain't lugging his luggage up from the courtesy car and bringing it up to the room. Somebody's going out to the car and bringing it up there for him. And then you don't have to wear a goofy-looking uniform. Like in basketball, you got to wear those shorts and you got to wear that
sleeveless tank top.
Tank top. Or like in football, you got to wear the short. And it's protection. I get that. Baseball, you have to wear. You just get to wear whatever you want. Cool clothes. Like me, I wear Unreal because I am a Unreal apparel ambassador. So I get to wear my Unreal. It's just such a.
I think it's funny when the baseball managers wear the uniforms.
Yeah, we've discussed that, and I agree with you 100%. That would be like watching a football coach with a football uniform on. It's about the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This Aronimink has turned out to be a more difficult golf course than I thought to be. Aronimink in Pennsylvania, I think just outside of Philadelphia. I had heard of the course before because it's one of those legendary Donnie Ross ones, I believe. Or maybe he did the redesign. I don't recall. But it's only hosted one other major prior to this. That was the 1962 U.S. Open where Gary Player won. And there were those that, sometimes when they avoid these older golf courses because, they're just not, they don't present the kind of challenge to these players as they once did. I think this one plays at 73 or 7,400 yards, which isn't the longest courses they play, but that's still a pretty stiff challenge. And I thought I heard they expected rain either on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they thought that might soften the course. The best score right now in the clubhouse is 3 under 67. So maybe it's posing a bit more challenge than people thought it would. But I always love me some PGA Championship. This text message came into the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. It says, Common, you're a fraud. I saw 11:59 on the clock and quickly scampered over to the radio to tune in my favorite afternoon sports talk show host. I could not wait for Wheel of Topic. And then you pulled the rug out right from underneath me, just like the Wild pulled the rug out from under Game 6. I thought this was a sports show, and it is, and I apologize. I didn't play today. By choice. Do you ever play and you're so bad you just say, I don't want to go out again tomorrow? I played 36 holes yesterday, and it was just... But you know what? I got the phone fixed from Craig. It's just so good. I texted Craig this morning. I go, Craig, Common. Everything I swing is going high and right, weak fade. What am I doing wrong? And I said, I said, am I not making a big enough turn? Do I not have a strong enough grip? Am I not finishing? Then I said, or am I just not any good? And he said, brace that right leg. I have to brace that right leg. So I go, okay. I go into my backyard. I have a holding pond. People call it it's a pond. It's just a holding pond for the rainwater to go in, right? Middle of summer, it'll be just green, thick with algae. It's ugly. But I got to be careful. If I hit too much club and hook it, I can hit the neighbor's house, right? So I got to really be careful. I mean, it's dangerous hitting shots back there, but I have to test it. I hit 3. The first one I hit absolutely perfect with a draw by just bracing my right leg. The next one, I got excited and I hit a bad one, and then I hit another perfect shot. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once sings. That's a phone fix from Craig. I got fixed over the phone. So now I can't wait to go out and play again tomorrow. I'm so excited. How about you? Can you play tomorrow?
No.
Feel bad about that. No! Here's Brock Faber-Fabe. Here's what he said after last night's loss. When we are at our absolute best, we can beat this team. Why does this keep jumping around? Stop it. When we are at our absolute best, we can beat this team. Just they were more consistent. I feel like they outplayed us most of the series, which that's just how it is. That's just plain and simple. You can't really hide or dance around the fact that they outplayed us. But that's where the frustration comes in. Do you ever be reading a story and it just keeps jumping around? Why is it doing this to me?
Because they've got advertisements that pop up. That's how they make their money.
But that's where the frustration comes in. I feel like when we are at our best, we can beat that team. We just didn't, and they deserve to win. And that basically does sum it up. We saw when they play their best, they can beat this team. We watched it happen. Now, it was only the one game, but they played their very best hockey and they won the game. Colorado is a better team, missing Brodin, and we're sure it is Brodin and not Broden. I'm pretty sure that's the correct pronunciation.
As far as I know.
Brodin and Joel Eriksson Ek. As I mentioned, and again, those are legitimate, but still, I don't like when it's like, well, they're just the best team in hockey. Because we did win a game without those two. And last night was there to be had, that game. And then the one at the X the other night, wasn't that tied late? If I remember correctly, I was there, but my head was bowed most of the time. I was dozing off.
We had a 2-2 in the third.
Yeah. So again, it's not like it'd be like me playing Scotty Scheffler without strokes. Let's not get carried away here. And I think that's what Faber's saying. So when we play our best, we can play with this team. I guess it's really difficult to play your best game after game after game. Right? It's just difficult to do against a team that is as good. You can't. I mean, what Colorado did last night, and as we talked about, Tammy, much of the blame, I think, goes on the conservative approach we had in periods 2 and 3. But that goes to show you they decided somehow, some way, they put the pressure on and scored 2 goals between the 4-minute mark, I think it was, and then I don't know how much time was left.
Minute 20.
Minute 20, they pulled their goalie. I mean, they got the goalie out of that. They tied, and then they come out. And I'm assuming in overtime. Well, I was going to say, I assume that they were just more fired up and the Wolves were on their heels, or the Wild were on their heels. But the Wild had a couple of pretty good scoring chances. They had 2 really good scoring chances in that overtime.
Yeah, it seems like the first shift of every period, including overtime, they started that Boldy-McCarron line, McCarron got moved up to that line just for last night, and they started off every period great, first shift of the game, and they had a chance in overtime. I thought Boldy, I know he's taken a lot of criticism now for the pass to McCarron, and that he couldn't handle the pass from Kaprizov in overtime, but he was great last night. He was one of the best players. He was definitely our best player, one of the best players on the ice. I don't know why it took him till Game 5 to show up in the series, but he was terrific last night. But, it's always easy to, when you give up a lead, to criticize the style of play. Mm-hmm. But one, I do think it's partially more just, Colorado's that good. And 2, like, that style of play in the third period, for the first 16 minutes of the third period, it was working brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it was.
They were not giving up much to Colorado at all. So the style of play was working. And it's human nature. It's just, if you're up 2 goals in a game, and I always talk about time and score with my players. If you're up 2 goals with 5 minutes in the third period and you're down 2 goals with 5 minutes in the third period, you play differently. If you're down 2 goals, you're going to get way more aggressive. Your defensemen are going to take more chances. They're going to pinch. When you're up 2 goals in the third period, you're not going to take reckless chances on things. Why would you try to take a pinch on a 50-50 puck when that could lead to a 2-on-1 with McKinnon and Natchez? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So,
right.
I thought second period they just got completely dominated. I mean, that was the one period where they looked the worst. And I think Colorado warmed down a little bit and got them tired. And, the Wild were probably fatigued and playing on their heels. And, 2 of the goals Colorado scored, those tips, deflections. I think a lot of times when you're spending a lot of time in your own zone and you're tuckered, especially in the second period when you have that long change and you can't get off the ice, those are the little details as a defenseman and as a center that, you're tired and you're fatigued and you go, oh, maybe I don't have to give everything here to try to tie this guy up here.
This is sort of going back to what you said earlier about, when you have the lead, why take chances and give them an opportunity on a 50-50 pinch? And while I understand that and I tend to agree, but when you are playing the best team in hockey and what you've done to that point worked, it's the old, dance with the gal you brought or whatever it is. I understand the danger there, but it's like, because it's the cup, and it's like, it's easy, it's hindsight, I get all that, but I don't, sometimes if you're playing the best team, you gotta push it. How many times have we seen in football where a team gets a lead and then they get conservative, and it's like, they run a play on first down, run a play on second down, run a play on third down, punt it to the other team goes on and score, game over. It's like, throw for a first down. We have that debate all the time. I think more often now teams are now throwing on that 3rd and 6 and saying, yeah, okay, if we throw an incomplete pass, we give them a lot more time. But I guess I got to rely on my defense then. If I complete the 3rd and 6, it's game, set, match. And so I understand the logic, but Russo and, when they say, the story says Wild left reeling after, this is with the Athletic, Wild left reeling after complete collapse to end season, anger and frustration. The story by Michael Russo and Joe Smith. So who's responsible for the right? Is it because one guy's getting quotes and the other guy's writing it? So I don't know who's writing.
Yeah, I'm very curious how they combine for stories.
But this is, here's what they write. 15 minutes after the most shocking loss in Minnesota Wild playoff history, GM and president of hockey ops Bill Guerin, with 3 of his fellow executives following in single file line, came down from their corner suite at Ball Arena, headed toward the back of a still closed locker room. Guerin, not making eye contact with any of the assembled reporters, looked like he'd just gone 10 rounds with Tyson. The man who assembled this roster looked both furious and, like his coach and players, shell-shocked at what he had just witnessed and how it could have happened. How on earth could this Wild team, after dominating the first period and taking a 3-0 lead with a chance to keep its season alive and force Game 6, collapse in such an absolutely disgusting fashion? 7 harmless shots in the final 43 minutes, 52 seconds of a game against the mighty Colorado Avalanche. Sitting back for 40 long, exhausting, aggravating minutes. Blowing a 2-goal lead in the final 3.5 minutes because of poor execution and attention to detail. Looking so inept and jittery in the first few minutes of overtime until that 4th and final goal sent the Wild back to Minnesota with no more games to play after a devastating 4-3 season-ending loss. I think that sums it up. You can't lose that game. And
no, you can't.
You just can't, and they did. And now that raises.
I don't care how good the other team is. You have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah,
you can't lose when you have a 3-0 lead.
And 2 goals with 4 minutes to go. Now, of course, there was the great shot by McKinnon. Of course, had a lot to do with that. And now, Tenneby, you know the makeup of the team better than I do, and probably contract situations and such like that. Let's assume Eck comes back. He'll be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Brodin. So there's your roster, right? But we have to sign Hughes, correct? I mean, there's no guarantee he'll sign.
Technically, we don't have to, but I would recommend it because he's got 1 year left on his contract. So you don't want to risk.
Oh, so I mean, he's
under contract for 1 more year.
Oh, I thought he was done for sure. I thought he was a free agent.
No, he's not a free agent.
Oh, okay.
You have him for 1 more year, but you need to sign him this summer.
Okay.
Because if he's not going to sign, then you need to trade him and try to recoup.
Right.
Basically everything you gave away to get him.
I thought I saw a quote from him right after the game. Someone asked him, of course, right away, which, I'm not accusing Hughes of accusing, get it, him of ducking the question, but it is right after the loss. I mean, we're talking, I don't know how long it was till the players get grilled by the media, if it's 10 minutes, 20, half hour. But they were asking him, are you going to come back and sign? And he basically did the old non-committal. He said, I got to think about it for a while, or something like that, which you expect him to say. I don't think, and I guess you have to ask the question as a reporter, but I don't think anybody expected him to go, yep, I'm going to sign. I can't wait to sign again. Or like, you know what? I'm out. He just said, let this thing play out a little bit, but is good as. Let me go back to you on this. And I was talking to your guy in the coroner's office, who Sad Eyes was kind of. I didn't know if he'd cry or not, but he seemed to take it pretty well. You didn't cry. You didn't have Sad Eyes. I didn't see you crying, because that's why we play Sad Eyes. Is so many fans will cry. I didn't see you cry. I didn't see Swedberg cry. I don't know about Fallness and Nicoletti.
I'm kind of desensitized at this point.
I think most of us are. Because I did the old, you've got a D next to your name. You're a defenseman. And everybody gives Hughes kind of a free ride on, because he's such a great offensive player that defense isn't that big of a deal. And Swedberg's response to that, he wasn't on the ice on some of those goals.
He was great defensively in the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Dallas series, Colorado, so he was phenomenal defensively.
Then why wasn't he considered a great defensive player? I mean, a great scorer, but he wasn't considered. And does he not play like that all the time? And is that
regular season? there's clearly a different intensity
Yeah.
to his defense.
All right. Well, good. That's nice to know, because I worry that I don't like guys that are that have a certain position, but he's a defenseman, but he's really more of an offensive player. Then I kind of
When he said he is, yeah.
But if you're telling me he played really great defense, and
I was slightly worried about how he would play defensively going in the playoffs, because the end of the regular season, he wasn't tying up guys in front of the net. He was making some sloppy turnovers, and he was getting beat defensively. But in the playoffs, he proved that he's got another gear in him, and I think for him, it's probably just a focus thing.
I think most people feel as though, I shouldn't say most people, and I don't know if they do feel this way, but from the feel I get from talking to people and reading things is that Hughes has said he likes it here, and they expect him. All guys want to win a cup. Let's look at it. We got to the West. We got to the semifinals this year. And we lost to the best team in hockey. We beat a really good Dallas team. If they had the playoffs like they normally do, we might be getting ready to meet Dallas or Colorado in the finals instead, right? If they had it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
probably
6,
getting ready
7,
to play
8.
Colorado in the finals. Yeah,
exactly. Unless Dallas somehow ups or however. Yeah, you're right. They would play him because of the seeding purposes. So, but they say most people expect Hughes to resign. Do you feel confident about that? What percentage do you? I mean, we can't read his mind, but what do you?
Yeah,
think?
I was gonna say I have zero knowledge of what he's thinking. I think he's got a pretty good poker face. Hasn't talked about it at all. So I don't think anyone knows what he's thinking. Just logically, though, I think he wanted to get out of Vancouver because he wanted to be in a better situation. He wanted to win. And the other element of it is does he want to play with his brothers? Right?
Correct.
So if you want to win, this is a pretty good spot for you, right? Other than the Colorado Avalanche, the Minnesota Wild, and you're not going to go there when they already have McCarr in play, and they won't have the salary for him. This is a place that can pay you. This is a place you can win at, and should still be a cup contender here for the next 4 or 5 years. So the only other part of this is, does he want to be closer to home, or does he want to play with his brothers?
Where's home again?
He's from Michigan. Yeah. So this got him closer to Michigan than Vancouver. He's closer to family now here. But even if he wants to play with his brothers, that's still, barring him demanding a trade to New Jersey, Jack is still under contract for 3 more years. My feeling is, my guess is, he's going to sign a 3-year deal here.
Okay.
So that his contract is now ending at the same time as his brother Jack. And then at that time, they can figure out where they want to play together.
And of the 3 brothers, Jack's is about as good as Hughes, or he's close to.
Jack's the forward.
Right.
Excuse me. Luke's also a defenseman.
But Luke's not as good as those two?
Luke's a quality defenseman, but not, those two aren't elite.
All right.
Otherworldly level. Unless Billy Guerin can pull a swing for Jack, this summer to come along here, that would be, if I had to guess, I'd say Quinn's going to sign for 3 years. But that's without knowing any of his thinking.
Do you think Billy Guerin is going to be in a position to make that decision? You think his job is safe? And I read some things that maybe Hines' job might not be safe. Do you think both those guys are safe? Neither, both? What do you think?
Bill Guerin is up for GM of the year. He's one of the top 3 finalists for GM of the year.
Okay.
I don't think you can look at what Bill Guerin did this year and said, well, that guy should be fired.
Okay.
The Quinn Hughes trade was a blockbuster. That single-handedly. We went into this season thinking, it'd be nice to get out of the first round, but we didn't make the playoffs last year. We just want to get back into postseason contention. And now all of a sudden, in the middle of the year, we thought we could win a Stanley Cup. So the mindset changed with one big move.
Gave up an awful lot for him.
Oh, he's worth it.
Is he?
Oh, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Second round of the play. Second round of the playoff. Get to the finals and get back to me.
You can say second round of the playoffs, or you can say, hey, they're one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the league.
Okay. Yeah.
What happened is they, because of the way the NHL schedules their playoffs, you ran into the best team in the league in the second round. So we might, by the time it's done, you might go, hey, the Wild are the second best team in the NHL. They just happen to play the best team at the wrong time.
Second best team in the NHL will be the team that finishes second. And then the third best team will be the last team to be eliminated. And then the fourth best team will be it's the Mike Tice logic. That you have to tell me you're not employing the Mike Tice logic. It's still one of my very favorite things.
We were one of the last 7 teams remaining.
When the Vikings lost the final game in the second round on Sunday, the late game, so they became then there were 4 teams left after
Went
that.
from 8 to 4, yeah.
So he said, well, we're
one of 5 teams remaining.
Yeah, we're one of the 5 best teams in football. And it's like, well, no.
I always love that one.
Because there was a game played just before you, and then there was 2 games played on Saturday. It was just you happened to draw that last game. But I love the logic from Tice. It makes a lot of sense. We'll pause. We'll come back. It's time for 5, 3, 4, 10. What you got?
Yeah, PGA Championship prediction and Vikings off-season winners and losers.
Common and Corey Cove take on Kevin Gorg and Audra Martin.